Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story. Today is kind of an interesting one, folks. I did not record it on Twitch. It's all recorded while I was on vacation. I just got back, hence the bedraggled look with all of the scruff and everything. A couple people mentioned that I hadn't been shaving, and that's only mostly true. I shaved a little bit while I was on vacation, but I forgot my webcam while I was on vacation, so now I'm using my phone as my webcam, so it's pretty interesting. Anyways, this match is an interesting one to me because I keep saying, like, if I only got to face people with only one Galactic Legend, then I'd be fine, I'd be doing well. I would just be beating everyone, basically. And this match is going to test me all the way. My opponent has basically the same number of banners as me, lifetime banners, and only one Galactic Legend, though. So, going to be an interesting match in that regard. And, we'll just have to see how it goes. I actually didn't take a huge number of screenshots, though I did take video of everything. So, we're going to skip straight to stats and move on from there. I hope you enjoy. Alright, so looking at the stats, it looks a little lopsided on relics. My relic levels are greatly exaggerated here because I did not enter the match with this many. I did my lock, and then I leveled up all of my resistance characters at once to be able to start farming ray shards this week. So tier 7 should be like less by 3 or something like that, just so you're aware. Now, in terms of mods, these are pretty much accurate. We're pretty close on mods. My opponent, no, I won't say anyone has an advantage. Like, we're pretty close. I do have a pretty big advantage on gear. I had about 25 more pieces of gear 13. And look at our lifetime banners, 409 to 406k. Very, very close. We both have very similar stats. This is a really top shelf player, so I need to be careful about that. Now, my opponent has Supreme Leader Kylo, and they usually keep them on offense. So what I ended up doing, I put my Kylo in the back. As you can see, the rest of my teams are somewhat standard. You can see the top zone is the middle one. So anyways, that's my defense. Hope you guys love it, I guess. Alright, so the first zone that we have to take out is the bottom one, of course, and they have a Darth Revan squad here, and I don't really have a great solution if I don't have Supreme Leader Kylo available, which I didn't. I put him on defense, obviously. And so what I did, I decided to take Padme. Now, Padme, I didn't have much hope of taking him out. This is a really strong Darth Revan squad full of relics and power and majesty. And so what I'm trying to do here, I wasted the 20 stack on Kenobi there on Malak, unfortunately. What we're trying to do here with Padme, we just want to kill Bastila. If we can kill Bastila, then this is a success. And that's exactly what happened. We killed Bastila. I was like, maybe I can actually take out Darth Revan here as well. So, of course, we're trying to. Anakin died then, and then so did Padme, and GK died. So, not the greatest, but I did start that match off with without doing a burner because I wanted all those extra buffs from Bastila, or other debuffs from Bastila. And then I could buff everyone. The unfortunate thing is all of the stacks of courage that I got for GK just got wasted on Malak. So what I wanted to do here is take Bounty Hunters against this squad, obviously, because I took him, and Bosk has great regenerative properties against this squad, and as long as Darth Revan is the lead, every time they get their big buffs up, that means that, or rather every time they get their debuffs for ferocity up, that means it heals my Bounty Hunter's health and protection. And so what we're doing here, we're able to apply all these debuffs on Malak. The issue being, Malak is just really good well, this one is really fast. This one's super fast, and he targeted Boba a ton. Watch how exclusively he targets Boba. Now, I say that right as he hits Jango, but it's true. Like, it's very it's pretty systematic. He just, if he ever hit anyone else, we would do a lot better, clearly. But we have all the things that we need to do. The problem is this Malak is really fast, and the RNG is kind of telling us that we're going to struggle. We do have some cool tools, though, so I want to point that out because I've done this match a ton of times, actually, at this point. Bounty Hunters are legitimately great at taking out Darth Revan, and Malak, this Malak just, I think he was just modded exceptionally well. He was really, really fast, and he also got good RNG because, as you can see, he only hit Jango one time. Every other time, he just targeted Boba and killed him. So, frustrating result here. I know that we're actually still in the mix, and I guess I gave you guys a spoiler. I'm not going to go back and deal with that, but it's a frustrating result, obviously, for me at least. Now, the real key here is, can we get to a state where Malak is actually at less than 50% health, so that we can just use like Savage to take him out? And that's exactly what I did. You see how close he is to death, and now I'm going to just skip forward to the end of this fight because I just sat here and timed out. So, as you can see, I timed out just as I said, and, you know, I could have fought a little bit more, and he would have killed Bosk, of course, but the key is, you see how low his life is, and all we have to do now, we can use a really low-cost counter here in the form of Savage. So, you can see I'm kind of wandering around, trying to figure out who I should take as my lead for this, and I eventually decided on just taking Savage here just because he gives a ton of extra defense so that Malak can't heal. And what's going on here is once he jumps in, as long as Malak doesn't heal too much here, then from his first hit, then Savage can just use his ability to do massive damage, like the 100,000 damage ability, to just take Malak out. So we want to make sure that Savage doesn't just die. So you put the pre-taunt in with Shore, and he has crit immunity, so Malak doesn't heal that much, and Savage just goes to town and kills Malak. So that's a pretty cheap third tier kill on Malak, but glad that worked out, that I didn't have to spend anything too expensive. And now we have another squad here that is pretty tricky. We have a Kylo Ren unmasked team alongside original Kylo and the Red Trooper. And so I wanted to try this. I've been talking about wanting to do this for a while. I really like using Rey with BB-8, and normally I use R2 here. I wanted to try 3PO, and I think actually that with Red Trooper here, that was a mistake, frankly. You can see the BB-8 is stunned. I was able to get him off of stun, but they do have AoEs available here. My resistance is only Relic 1 here. All of my resistance here is Relic 1. So you can see I'm going into airplane mode. One of the comments in one of my videos recently said that doing the airplane mode trick was a noob thing, and was totally just like beneath me, or like, I don't know. They said that it was like cheating, basically. And frankly, I don't even know what to say. Like, it just keeps you from loading turn meter. I don't think that that's, like, everyone does that. It's not an exploit. It's just the way the game works. So I don't know. Anyways, they managed to kill me very easily. I think because of all the AoEs. I think that with 3PO, it would have been better with a more standard Kylo Ren unmasked team, but as it stood, obviously Resistance didn't work. But now we're in the moment of I decided to take my Kylo Ren unmasked team with Watt, and I was kind of cursing myself because I just basically thrown away that Rey team. I'd been keeping her on defense all this time, and then the minute I take her for offense, finally this season, this was the very first time, 7 matches in, I finally just threw her away for no apparent gain. So now what we're trying to do, obviously, you know, if you've seen my videos, you know, you put tank tech on Kylo so they can't get through the taunt, and then Fox just goes to town, ignoring armor and doing all sorts of really rude things to this team, to any team that they face, really. You guys should see that next match, because I'm kind of behind on videos, so you guys should see the next match and what they take out. So anyways, got the win on that, got 34 instead of 54, but at least I'd cleared it. And now we're not even through this zone. Super frustrating. Need to take out this last squad, and so I decided to try Qi'ra with Scion and Red Trooper. Red Trooper has kind of been a misfit in my squads lately on my roster, which is crazy because he's so good. That's really something I need to rectify. But one way or another, this is a Bosk team that we're trying to counter, and it's not a very strong Bosk team. So apparently I thought about it for a while here, and just went in on it. And so I wanted to save Nihilus for something else. Nihilus can be really useful. I didn't know what exactly, but I have a bunch of other Sith teams that I can take and potentially get some use from Nihilus. So what we're doing here, we get Isolate up on Bosk, and he still has his taunt for a minute, but it eventually does go away. It doesn't refresh itself. And then these guys are just gear 12. Boba is gear 12. Dengar is gear 12. Bosk is relict, of course. That's kind of the standard thing. Like, everyone's been doing that exact squad, in fact. Like, Bosk and Boba, like weak Boba, and then like either Dengar or like Greedo, something random. You have to think that there's something at play here. So, you know, like some big YouTuber like went crazy and told everyone that they needed to take this team or something. Or maybe people just do research and see that I've been struggling, because I've actually failed a couple times against it. It's not a great team if you take the right teams against it, which I have not been. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to scheme a way so that I can use my special from Scion so that he can regrow all of his protection in the final hit, and I can get a banner back. Because frankly, I've already dropped 3 matches total so far. I guess for a total of 50 banners, it's a lot, honestly. So I need to get every single banner I can. I've talked about it before, and you know, people say, well, at this point, banners don't matter. Like, who cares about banners? I just need to make sure that I just need to make sure that I clear, or whatever. It's not down to banners and small wins here. And the fact is, it does totally matter. I've shown a few different times where being banners efficient won me the day. So there was a little bit funny because Sith Trooper rather, didn't have full health, but Scion did get an extra banner for protection. So I did manage to get that, and now we have the back zone is actually pretty tricky. Like, it's not your grandma's back zone. That has a Hux team. It has a few different pretty good teams. And so first off, what I'm trying to do here, 3v3 is tricky because there's so many teams that even after you take the first 3 out, it's hard to keep track of what teams you have available to be able to take what out. So what I usually do is I try to find something that Nest can solo first. And this team I've soloed a few different times. It's really hasn't been an issue. And one thing I will note here is that their potency was high enough to actually get the stun and ability block off on Nest. So that was good modding on my opponent's part. However, it obviously hasn't made an enormous amount of difference here. You know, they haven't come very close to killing me yet. though they did stun me a couple times. So I actually ended up killing the resistance guy that I was supposed to avoid killing, the resistance leader, and yeah, it still didn't matter apparently. So just able to take these guys out for the pretty standard 55 banners. And so one thing I was started mentioning a minute ago, taking out that front zone was great, and finding out that he does not actually have Kylo on defense was wonderful. It was magical. It meant that I could split up my Jedi Revan and Jedi Luke teams. I wasn't sure exactly what teams I wanted to take other than that. So here we're just whittling everything down once again. Now this Resistance Hero Bros with Finn lead is really strong, except unless you use Commander Luke to take him out, then it becomes pretty easy, in fact. So you want to stun, you have to stun with Han, you have to stun Resistance Hero Finn first, and then after that you just keep everyone else stun locked and controlled, and you coast to an easy 54, sometimes 53 if they get a shot off banners, but it's a pretty hard counter if you have the right relic levels to do it, which I do have pretty high relic levels there. But that was a no-brainer. None of my other squads could have come near to as efficient against that squad as I did there, so that was pretty great. Decided to go pretty standard against this General Grievous squad. Went with Jedi Revan with Jolee and Grandmaster Yoda, and it's kind of just a weird thought, like this isn't like a super easy squad, but at the same time it's not that hard. Like usually I'm trying to find a better solution to this squad, frankly, but I wanted to, in this case, just use my Jedi Revan squad here and use the least number of really great Jedi, so that Jedi Luke could have his own team and counter something else. So I did decide to actually just target B1 and take him out before I took General Grievous out. This General Grievous was pretty well modded, if I remember correctly. It was 150k health with extra crit damage, with a crit damage triangle, which is crazy actually if you think about it. It's very difficult to do that, but as you can see, we took out B1, and now we can take out General Grievous relatively easily. Frankly, so I'm trying to call assists here. All of the assists that I call are going to heal health and protection, and that is really important for banners, obviously. As I talked about before, we're trying to be efficient, so 53 banners is pretty good. And in the end, like, that was what I decided was against that squad. I maybe I could have beat it with a different one, but I could be pretty efficient against that General Grievous squad, which normally Grievous will just steal like at least 3 banners, and in this case I got a couple back, and that's great because my opponent is super efficient on offense, and I didn't know what they were going to do. One thing I also want to point out is my opponent always attacks at the same time. I watch my GAC history, and I do my research, and he did not. He waited until I attacked. So he attacked later, and I'll show you guys screenshots. I took screenshots of all of it. Now this was probably a mistake fight. This is a very tricky one because they have a high relic Sunfac, and then Newt is hiding behind that taunt, and Watt is there ready to immediately revive Sunfac if I kill him. And so I have a ton of bonus protection, and they're not going to do a ton of damage except through extortion. So all I'm doing here now, because I don't have to worry about expose, is I'm paying off my extortion every time, and I'm just hoping that I can actually get enough damage from Wampa to actually get through these guys. And I'm actually going to speed it up. This match goes a pretty long time. So here's the thing. I'll just admit it, guys. I know that everyone likes to have like their platonic ideal Grand Arena guy, like who's super knowledgeable and remembers everything all the time. And the truth is, I forgot that, and this sounds so stupid, I forgot that I wouldn't be able to get past the taunt from Sunfac because Watt was going to give it to him. Like, I knew that Watt would do it. I knew it was going to happen, but on some level, like, I thought that Ahsoka would be like, oh, okay, I'll just dispel Sunfac, like Bastila will get ability block on him so that he can't get it back. And that taunting tech is just really strong on him, frankly. Like, it dispels all those things, and he just regrows his taunt all the time. And so what we have to do here, what I discovered was I needed to just rush as fast as possible. We're going to pay off extortion as much as we can, and then Wampa's just going to ramp up his damage. Hopefully, I'd be able to get past the taunt on Sunfac and then kill Watt. Once I killed Watt, then it would be easy enough to kill Sunfac, at least in theory. And so here, I've slowed it down again because we're in the final minute and it gets pretty intense. Like, can I actually do it? I'm not going to reveal what actually happens until it happens. But as you can see, Wampa has been ramping up his damage quite a bit. And so, that being said, Sunfac is ramping up his healing quite a bit, and just like still being the dirty D-bag that we all know he can be. So here I decided to kill Sunfac. I had noticed that Watt had just used the revive ability on the team right before Sunfac had been taken out, so I thought maybe I'd just have a few minutes to take out Watt without any kind of taunting tank out there. And instead of roaring, I did just take out Watt. And now both of them are gone. Can I kill Newt twice? Because I don't have any auto death or permadeath abilities here. I don't know why I roared. Probably just out of habit. And now you see I have extortion on everyone. So we're going slowly, and we just need to get hits from Wampa. We have 15 seconds. I hit auto here because really they were just going to do the same stuff. I guess Bastila would be able to call Wampa for an assist. That would be the only AI issue at hand, but in the end I ended up 52 banners, so like totally worth it, right? Like I said, it was a mistake on my end. I should not have done that, frankly. Like that was a mistake. And that almost cost me. It's a good squad. On defense, Watt can make some really obnoxious squads on defense. The issue being, he is so versatile on offense, even though I only use him with Kylo. Like, in theory, he is amazing on offense. So here we have this low gear squad. It doesn't have a ton of relics, if any. I'm trying to remember if Jango had any at all. But if he did, he's the only one. So what we're doing here, I fractured Dooku because I get sick of him doing his stupid, annoying hide everyone, and then I can only target people who they want me to target. And you have to realize too, like, this might not be the most ideal squad for the match. And you can see Droideka, if he had been relicked at all, would have just killed Palpy there. But the fact is, I'd already thrown away a few very decent teams to counter his front zone, and I had gone hard enough on defense that I just didn't have a ton more left in me. So I did manage to get the win on that squad. If they had been relicked, it would have probably been a lot dicier. But as it stands, that clearly I just totally tore the hell out of that squad, and that was never in question. It kind of was. But here, so you can see that this Night Sisters team, it's not a great team. I later learned actually that my opponent probably used their Night Sisters on me to kill my General Grievous squad, which is impressive. And this was the leftover squad, frankly. So I did manage to kill that squad with General Skywalker. That doesn't really bear that much discussion. General Skywalker denies any kind of revive against him, and so Zombie is totally worthless against him. He does his AoE, he kills Asajj and everyone's happy. So the next match here, they have a Nest with Relic 4, maybe you guys can rewind and look back if you want. I'm just trying to go to bed after a long vacation, or after a long day of travel. But here, there's nothing really to stop me from just waiting until I can get the Annihilate off on Nest. And so I'm just putting a lot of debuffs on him. I figure there's 2 different win conditions in this match. One of them is I annihilate Nest with Nihilus, obviously, or I'm able to do a saber throw and kill Nest that way, because this Nest does not have super high tenacity. As you can see, it did have some tenacity, but it was like this really wishy-washy, like, why would you even bother putting that much tenacity on Nest? It was like 120%, which, like a lot of different potencies, can beat. So, like Vader my Vader has over 100% potency, and so I'm applying all these debuffs to Nest. It's truly remarkable, and now I'm just hoping that L3 doesn't get a turn and doesn't taunt here against me. And here I'm debating. I'm like, should I do a saber throw on Nest and just try to kill her? But I realized that like next turn, Nihilus would just be able to go and take out Nest, so no problem there. And now that Nest is gone, I mean, L3 can do her shenanigans for healing and all that, but we have the Vader lead, and she has a ton of dots. Eventually, we're just going to strangle her. It feels good to do that, frankly. L3 is annoying as hell, and I wish every bad thing on her. So we're just going for the kill here. I should have just slowed it down, seen what kind of damage I could do, but frankly, I was just happy to get done with that. I was feeling pretty anxious, like, I hope I can actually pull this off. And now, finally, we're on the last match. I've saved Jedi Luke as a just in case, and when I'm going to look at what Jedi I had available, it's like, I mean, I have some Gear 12s, and none of them are, like, terrible, but, like, Old Ben is not going to do any damage, and Hux is going to cause a lot of damage, in fact. So I need to take out Hux so we can do the turn meter gain, so that Luke can actually get his bonus turn and all of that. So Hermit Yoda does the mass assist, everyone hits and does crits, so then Luke is on his basic is able to dispel Hux's advantage, so then I can gain turn meter, and then after that it was easy. And frankly, like, I was considering just using Luke on his own to just solo that squad. That might have worked, but like, here's the thing: if he had done that, I'd have gotten 56, and I know we need to get as many banners as possible. But let's say that, like, is it worth to? Well, so maybe I get 56. I probably could just get 55, frankly. Why should I risk extra banners against that squad? Like, if I lose 20 banners, and then whatever other banners I have to use to, like, zerg that team down, if I even can. Like, totally ridiculous to risk, like, the potential victory for, like, 1 or 2 extra banners. Totally crazy. Like, there was no point, literally no point to doing it. So I just went with a full squad with Luke and made sure that Hermit Yoda outsped Hux, which he did, and the rest, as they say, is history. I don't know who says that, but that's what I'm supposed to say, I've heard. So here I was able. This is a pretty standard match. Like, you guys have seen me do this a lot of times. Malevolence is on defense. I take the same lineup and kick the hell out of Sunfac. Eventually, like, I was supposed to kill that vulture, and he didn't actually get target locked in the initial burst. So this is interesting in the sense that there is still a vulture droid, the one on the right-hand side. That vulture droid is still just hanging out there, and I need to kill him. Like, he's actually part of the win condition in this fight. And I was feeling a little bit nervous at this point because Spy usually doesn't actually come in at this point, and Hyena has a lot of health left compared to what it normally does at this stage in the fight, and so I'm trying to think, like, what exactly do I need to do? So I need to get rid of, dispel things as much as I can, so I targeted the Spy first with Ahsoka when she came in. Her reinforcement ability got rid of the Spy's buffs, and then I was able to dispel on Hyena Bomber and also kill Hyena Bomber. And then, really, I mean, I was just happy enough to hit the Y-Wing button. It was a pretty epic ending with the bomb run. 61 banners is just fine. It's over 60, so I'm happy about that. Tune in for the next match where I get less than 60. I don't know how much less, but I certainly didn't get an amazing score. So immediately after I attacked, my opponent started attacking. So sorry for the lack of screenshots here. I apparently just forgot to post anything for the front. The fact is, my opponent did use Supreme Leader Kylo to just take out my Darth Revan in the front. I was hoping they would do that, so that would leave Supreme Kylo of my own in the back. They were able to one-shot my other two teams up front, which is fine. I have no idea what they used on the Dengar squad, but in the back, they immediately attacked my Supreme Leader Kylo, killed Hux and Stormtrooper, and left Kylo there. Now, I think they had their General Skywalker and 5s modded with Chewie to be able to do that cheese counter to this. However, one of the good things about having an offense modded Kylo is that I hit hard enough that I can usually chew through that, and that's one of the reasons I left. I left his offense mods on this time. It's just to counter the cheese. I don't know if it's 100% effective, but in this case, I believe that's what happened and was able to at least deter him. Maybe he used a different team. I truly don't know. After that, he was able to take out a team on the top. I think I have a screenshot of that. Yep. So he took out the Newt team. I think I actually took out like 4 banners here. I did all the calculations as I was going. He did kill my Poe with Veterans team, and then he attacked. I think it's a he. I mean, it's April, but he attacked Kylo. Took him out for 34 banners, so didn't lose a single banner there. I have no idea what they used. Thrawn plus something, I'm guessing. And then they were able to take out the Geonosians, and the Resistance Hero Bros got attacked and actually held. And I was like, wow, we loaded turn meter. I might have a chance. But no, he did end up killing the Resistance Hero Bros. At this point, though, he was probably running on fumes. He failed once against my Telzin squad. Ended up killing it. And then I was back to just Shaak Ti. He attacked Shaak Ti, was able to kill Echo, but failed his attack there. And after he cleared, I mean, he would need a monster score that was impossible against Malevolence. And he did one-shot Malevolence for a pretty good score for myself. Considering my opponent was ranked, actually, I didn't even mention that, gosh. My opponent was ranked like number 11 going into this match. Number 11 in Division 1, which is crazy. Undefeated. Obviously has really high lifetime scores. And I really destroyed him here. Like, this is a really good score. My defense really did a lot of work. I feel like I played pretty well. I made a couple, obviously, poor choices and decisions, and I'll own those, but I was very pleased with this result. Like, beating someone with like 408k lifetime banners at this stage is crazy. Like, that's how many I have. I've had a lot of success in Grand Arena, and so very pleased with that. Obviously only one Galactic Legend, but still I was able to outmaneuver my opponent and I got the win. So happy enough with that. My opponent was pretty polite. I think maybe English was their second language or something, which is not bad. I'm not saying anything negative about that, but they were pretty brief in their communications with me. And so I just, here, let me throw it up real quick for you. You can see, like, I was talking to him, like, hey, good job. Or you have a really strong roster. Like, I've seen you have really good lifetime banners. You know, like, you probably have it to be able to beat me because I made a couple fails on you. And so he went and did his attacks, and he just said, lose, good game. And I saw his message, and so I was like, good match. And then before I could even type anything else, I wanted to tell him that this video would be up eventually. But instead, he just left before I could even get that message off. It's just kind of funny. Like, please guys, just realize I love people who speak English as a second language. I admire people who do that because I haven't done that really. Like, I've learned a couple parts of a couple different languages, and I know how hard it is, and being ridiculed for doing something impressive is so ridiculous, and I hate that tends to be a thing in America sometimes. So just please understand, you have my utmost respect. I just thought that his communication, his brief communication, was just humorous. Like, anyway, so good match for me. Happy about that. My next match is against someone from PvP Elite, and they have a pretty strong defense as well. So check that out. I have a couple unique counters in that one. Gonna be great. So anyways, folks, I'm going to let you go here. Excited for tomorrow. I'll be live streaming my third match. You guys can check that out on Twitch. It's in the video description below if you want to see that. And I will for real leave you now. So thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.